The night before our wedding, I woke up to a strange sound. At first, I thought it was a dream, but when I turned to my side, my fiancé wasn't lying next to me. The sound was coming from the bathroom. Curious and uneasy, I walked to the door. It was half open, and through the small gap, I saw her sitting quietly on the toilet seat. Her head was tilted back, her breathing heavy, her face carrying a faint smile. But she wasn't holding a phone or anything at all. She just sat there, lost in some strange moment. The instant she saw me, she straightened up. Without a word, she flushed, walked past me, and returned to bed like nothing happened. I stood there, confused and disturbed. She was the one who had insisted we remain celibate until marriage. We had respected that rule even when we shared the same bed. Now, on the night before our wedding, I was seeing a side of her I couldn't understand. The next morning, our wedding day, she entered the room with a look I couldn't read. "I want my own private room after the wedding," she said calmly. I frowned. "Why? We'll be husband and wife. Why would we live in separate rooms?" Her face darkened. "If you can't respect that, maybe this marriage shouldn't happen." Her words cut through me. I begged her not to ruin our day. After a pause, she agreed, or at least pretended to, and we went ahead with the ceremony. Later that night, I went to her room ready to spend our first night together, but the door was locked. I knocked gently. No response. I knocked again. Still silence. After waiting for minutes, I gave up and went back to my room, convincing myself she was simply tired. When she came out of her room, I froze. There were bruises on her arms and face. "Babe, what happened to you?" I asked. She smiled faintly. "Oh, I tripped while taking off my shoes." I wanted to believe her, but when her blouse shifted, I saw it. A deep red mark across her back, like she had been whipped. "Are you sure it was just a fall?" I asked again. She laughed. "Yes, you worry too much." That evening, I tried to kiss her, to start what we had both waited for, but she turned her head away, dodging every touch. "We're married now," I said softly. She sighed. "Not tonight, another time," and she walked out. One morning, I tried to surprise her with breakfast, but as I approached her room, I froze. I heard crying, mixed with moaning. The sound was raw, painful, strange. I knocked. No response. I knocked again. Still nothing. When I finally entered, she was lying on the floor, her eyes wide open, staring at something behind me. "Babe?" I whispered, shaking her gently. At last, she muttered, "I wasn't crying. It was just the movie on my phone." But there was no phone. I knew she was lying. Later that day, while drinking water in the dining area, I caught something in the mirror. A pale figure walked behind me. I spun around. No one. I looked back in the mirror. Nothing. I shook my head, blaming my imagination. Just then, my wife appeared with an unusual smile. "Baby, tonight I want us to sleep together," she said. My heart leapt. This was the first time she had shown interest, but when I tried to kiss her, she pulled back, fear flashing in her eyes. "Relax, babe. Tonight will be ours," she said with a forced smile. That night, I watched her light red candles in a circle around the bed, whispering words I didn't understand. When I asked what she was doing, she pushed me out playfully. "Let me set the mood. Don't spoil the surprise," she said. When she finally called me back in, I climbed onto the bed, ready for our first night as husband and wife. But something happened. A sudden breeze swept through the room, cold and unnatural. In that instant, all my desire vanished. My body shut down. We tried everything: touch, whispers, caresses, but nothing worked. It had never happened before. Our wedding night ended in silence. From that day, I could not perform. No matter what I tried, nothing worked. Even medical tests showed I was normal. but I knew something was wrong. One night, I kissed her gently, only for her to push me away. She wanted intimacy, but refused my kiss. The next morning, I woke up in terrible pain. When I looked in the mirror, I froze. There was a strange mark on my chest, like a tattoo written in symbols I didn't understand. When I asked her, she trembled and admitted, "I did it while you were asleep." But how? I wasn't a deep sleeper. I scrubbed and washed, but the mark wouldn't go away. Days later, she gave me a drink. Moments after I finished it, my vision blurred. My body went numb. Before I collapsed, I saw a shadow, a man standing in the room. When I woke up, I saw her talking, her lips moving as if speaking to someone, but there was no one there. When I asked, she smiled nervously. I was praying. I didn't believe her. Later, when I used the bathroom, I was shocked to see my urine turn red, thick like blood. That evening, I found her personal room unlocked for the first time. Inside, she stood before a tall mirror, smiling as she caressed her stomach like a pregnant woman. Then she whispered softly, "We'll be a family soon, my love." My heart pounded. We had never been together as husband and wife, so how could she be pregnant? I grabbed my camera for proof. Through the lens, I saw it. A tall, shadowy figure with horns stood behind her, holding her from the back, caressing her belly. In real life, I saw nothing. But through the camera, it was there. My leg hit something on the floor, making a loud noise. She rushed out and found me. She smiled and led me away, feeding me with care. Later that night, she pulled me close, whispering, "Come to bed." For the first time, we made love, but as I reached my peak, I saw him again. That same figure inside her, with me. From that night, I began seeing shadows everywhere, at home, at work, even in my dreams. One day while driving, I looked into the rearview mirror and saw him sitting in the back seat, his face twisted in rage. I panicked, lost control, and crashed into a river. The impact came. Then I woke up, gasping, sweating, shaking. "It was just a dream?" I whispered in relief. But then I heard it again. My fiancé moaning in the bathroom, just like before. My blood ran cold. Was it really a dream? Or was it a warning I had ignored for too long? Even now, I still wonder, was my wife truly mine? Or was she already bound to something I could never understand? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with a friend who loves suspenseful tales. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll know when the next episode drops.